You can chat or just simply say yes. So I wanted to ask you as an icebreaker, everybody, what high school are you all from? Let's see, somebody said it. Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Let me share the QR code in the chat real quick.
And you can also go to menti.com and type in the code.
I'm putting it back up on the screen here. I'll give everybody a, maybe it's not sharing. Can you see the QR code, Cameron?
Yeah, the code. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm on my phone right now for the meet. Should I join the QR code through my computer? Through your phone is fine.
If you want to do it on your computer, you can just go to that website too.
Yeah, it's actually easier on the phone than it is to have to log in. Okay. So I'm gonna share again the, can you see, sorry, can you see the Menti?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got Motwood, Del Valle, and Del Valle. So 2 Del Valle from Del Valle and 1 from Motwood. Is everybody submitted their answers? There is. So there's 7 people. I should see 7 answers. If you guys participate, you'll win a prize.
Yes, we do have restaurant gift cards on the line, so definitely make sure you are answering.
So Del Valle and Motwood. Motwood. Okay. Awesome. Perfect. Okay, so let's go on to the next question. What motivates you to do good in school? I'm interested to see what motivates you all to do good in school. And if you're having issues with the Menti, it's anonymous, so don't worry, I don't have your name or anything like that. I can't see who's responding. Money, sports, family, my parents. Awesome. My parents and my future. Awesome. Those are really good responses. I ask you guys what motivates you to do good in school, because we as an HR professional, we have to ask our employees what motivates them to be able to do their job and do it proudly. What motivates them. We usually send out surveys to kind of see, like, nothing like this, but just different surveys to our employees to kind of see what motivates them to do their job, and how can they continue to perform. A high performer, for instance, somebody who is happy, and so that's how we as HR professionals send out our surveys to our employees to get just like a temperature check of what our employees want, what our employees need. Obviously, we can't answer everybody's what they want, what they need, but we certainly try to meet in the middle and try to just make it fair and so that everybody's happy. Let me go to the next question. But good answers. Thank you, everybody. Does anybody currently have or had a job? Okay. It's okay, Jackson, we got it. Thank you. All right, so 3 of you said no and 1 of you said yes. And I'm asking this question because for those of you who said yes, you probably come in contact with somebody from human resources, whether it was to schedule an interview, whether you submitted their resume that lands on their desk, they review it, they call you for an interview. So they're the point of contact before you even get to meet the manager, your employees, anybody. So they're the first person you talk to when you're going to do an interview, resume, when you submit it, it all comes to us. So we are the ultimate deciders of who moves on to the next phase and who doesn't, unfortunately. And those of you who don't have a job, that's something that you'll get to realize once you start applying. It's going to be their human resources to review your resume and to call you to schedule an interview if they feel that you're qualified for the position. Let me go on to the next question. Okay, so we already have an answer. Do you think HR plays a role in a company's day-to-day activities? Yes, no, not sure, I'm just here for extra credit. Very cool. And you all are right. And I asked this question because a lot of people think that we just fire employees. People are scared to see HR come in. And that's not what we do. Yes, we do fire people, but we are also involved on a day-to-day activities. We hire, we process payroll, we do employee requests, employee complaints, attendance monitoring, leave tracking, maintaining personal records. Depending on the organization and how big it is depending how your workload will be. So we not only fire and hire people, but we also do everything in between. Every day is something different in my world. Something lands new on my desk every single day. So it's very exciting and I definitely like it. All right, thank you guys for participating. Let me go back and share my other screen. Can you see the presentation? Okay. So I'm following the survey. Here's just a list of what HR roles and responsibilities that we do. Staff development, HR compliance, benefits, reward management, employee engagement, compensation study, firing, hiring, succession planning, recruitment, employee retention. I can go on and on. There is a lot of HR law involved when you're in your position. So just for instance, during COVID right now, we have a lot of new laws passing because of COVID. So there could be leave that's involved for the employees who are sick with COVID or their family members are sick, or so there you have to be constantly abreast with all the laws and regulations in the state, for the state of Texas, if you're doing HR in Texas. Other laws and regulations are different for each state. So for now, I'm just with Texas, and that's pretty easy, but you have to continue to follow the law and everything to make sure you're in compliance, and that's one of them, HR compliance. Benefits is your medical, vision, life, all of that goes through us. We go out there, we recruit to see who has the best deals, what we can offer the employee, and try to make sure that the benefit plans are good for our employees. We do the hiring, of course. We do the recruitment. We do the firing again. Employee performance, we issue evaluations every year to see how the employees are doing. We issue the raises, of course, with management approval, but all of that's what we do. And for me, I have it's quarters throughout the year. Every quarter of the year, there's something for me to do, whether it's benefits, whether it is HR information and payroll, whether it's recruitment or annual performances evaluation, staff development, sending my staff to trainings, trying to find out what works for our staff. And again, let's be real here, and that's why I put it in white. Everything that managers can't do. And so we do it. We do the dirty work. And I really enjoyed doing every part of HR, I've got to say. So for me, it's like I love what I do, and I do it with pride. And so for me, it's every day. It's great for me. So some people may not feel that way. Others may. But is there anything here that is listed that interests you on the screen? And you can just put it in the chat. Does firing interest you? Does HR compliance interest you? Does succession planning interest you? And what succession planning is let's say I'm the CEO and I want my my manager to take my position after me, after I retire. Well, I'm training her to be able to take my position when I leave. So you're giving her materials, you're giving her the training, the leadership, everything to hand off to that other person, so that when you leave, this other person can jump into that role and take over the organization. So does any of these interest anybody? No?
The more we see your name pop up in the chat, the more gift cards I'm giving out. So
Yeah, that's true, guys. So I'll just wait a few moments. Okay, health and safety. That one's pretty intense because it's with the OSHA, and those laws are crazy. You go through audits and everything. Thankfully we don't have to, but HR law, okay. That one's pretty tricky too. All the hard ones you guys are picking. That's good though, I like that. All right, guys, well, let's go on to the next slide. So now that I'm here, and I wanted, of course, this whole presentation is to give you some quick tips on what the do's and don'ts are on an interview. I'm going to show you a skit that me and my coworker did on the do's and don'ts, and I mean, we were laughing, so we were trying not to laugh, but I hope you guys like it. And it's just a quick, synopsis of what not to do and what to do.
we can't hear it.
Okay.
At least I can't.
Let me see here. Oh, share sound, and then go back to here. Okay, can you let me know?
You're good now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for joining us today during our interview process. I see that you go by Chewy. Is that your nickname, or do you go by Jesus Barasa?
Chewy, I'm Chewy, El Chewy.
Okay, and I see here that it says they used to call you Juice in high school?
Yeah, I was very popular in high school, and then, that's why I applied here, because, I need a job, so what do you think, girlfriend? You think I can get hired?
Well, I'm just looking through your resume, and it says that you worked at Fruit of the Loom for 2 minutes?
Yeah, I cut myself cutting those damn those tags on it,
Is this an updated resume that you were giving us today?
Yeah, but I left my resume, my last pants, and so they were washed. So I'm sorry, that's the way it is.
Okay, so this is an outdated resume.
Yeah, unfortunately, my Luca couldn't help me with that, okay, so.
Thank you, Mr. Barraza, for joining me today and taking this interview last minute. I really appreciate it. And so let's get started. Do you have anything first and foremost you'd like to bring on the table?
Yes, ma'am. I know that you already received my my resume.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it's already up to date. Okay, and then this is a list of my references,
Okay.
just in case you need
Perfect.
you need any more information on my background or anything else you need.
Okay. So let's get started, Mr. Barraza. Tell me why you're a good candidate for this position.
Well, I went online and I looked at your website and I saw your mission and your vision for this community. And in my personal opinion, I like the way where you're going at. I'm totally for our community here in El Paso, Texas.
So have you done research then on our organization?
Yes, ma'am.
Wow, that's great because I've had other candidates and they have not researched our organization. So thank you for doing that. We really appreciate that. Do you know more or less what our organization does as a whole?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
I should do.
perfect.
I know where you guys are federally funded and state funded.
Yes, sir.
And I get involved in the success of our little community here in El Paso.
Awesome, thank you. So after reading your resume and talking to you and asking you all the interview questions, which you answered beautifully, it's safe to say that I would like to offer you this position within our organization. When can you start?
As soon as you want me to start.
Perfect.
I'm very excited. Thank you very much for hiring me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Okay, can anybody tell me what he did wrong in the first scene? And you can turn on your mic or you can type in the chat. We've got gift cards. Okay, he didn't have copies of his resume. But what else? Was he dressed right? No. Was he talking in a manner where it wasn't appropriate? Yes, he was, and it's not appropriate to talk that way at an interview. He wasn't formal about it. Yep. Casual vocabulary. Yep. Improper name. Yep. Perfect. And of course you saw the next, he came prepared and again, guys, so just make sure to do your research on the organization or company that you're going to interview for. 9 out of 10 times they will ask you what you know about their organization or their company. I usually always ask it. My managers ask it. So just know the organization or the company that you see yourself working for, and go on their website and just kind of do a brief study of what they do, what they're about. And that way, when they do ask you, you're fully prepared. Again, dress to impress. Right now, unfortunately, with COVID, it may be a face-to-face interview or it may be virtual. So just dress, appropriate so where they can see you. If you're at your house, then you can wear PJs on, on the bottom, but look professional, look clean. Girls, whatever, fix yourself up. Boys, guys, have a clean cut, whatever the case. And of course, if you're going in, you do want to have extra copies of your resume just in case, or your references, depending on if they ask for it. Just always be overly prepared. That way they know you're serious and you're ready to work. Have an updated resume. I see too many times where people have their resume outdated, and I asked them, are you currently working here? And they said, no, I've I haven't been there in over 2 years, so it just goes to show that some resumes, they don't care to look at them and update them appropriately. Even if it's just, if you left the job a month ago, and you still say that you're there present, that could kind of come off as, okay, maybe they're not telling the truth, and then that could probably lead the interviewer to think you might be being dishonest about it. So just constantly update your resume, and you'll be good. And so before I end, I thought I'm going to show you just a little bit of this clip that I thought it was pretty funny. Let me start it. Can you hear it?
Human Resources Department. Human Resources Department. Human Resources Department.
I do HR, means human resources. I love people, to say that another way. I love people.
Benefits? Benefits. Let's talk about benefits.
And pension, and pension.
And benefits, and benefits. Oh, benefits.
When you're ready, Martin.
Trust, encouragement, reward, loyalty, satisfaction.
Doctor.
All I do know is that I've been working 2 weeks without a break, and you promised me you'd hire more help.
Go home and step on a scale and write down how much you weigh and subtract it by like 20.
20.
And then weigh that much.
I'm not gonna do what you all think I'm gonna do, which is just lift up.
That was a test, and you've passed. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
We all signed the No Bullying in the Workplace pledge, which specifically bans physical violence.
Probably wondering why I am so generous with encouragement.
Didn't you have an obligation to tell your employer you had this dreaded, deadly, infectious disease?
All right, I'll see that he gets the message. Bye-bye.
Well, it's a terrific resume, Polly, and congratulations on the baby.
What baby?
I'd like to talk to you about your moot court experience. And
What baby?
Yeah, what?
Okay, guys. So, if you guys have any questions, I thought that was pretty funny. You know, human resources is a profession that you do have to be passionate about. I really like it. And again, there's so many things that you can do in HR. It's just not one thing. There's many things that fall under the scope of human resources. And as they portray human resources like that, it's not like that. But I definitely, I encourage you guys to, in the future, once, you graduate, there is EPSHRM, there's the National Human Resources for Society memberships. There's a lot of resources out there to help you try to get into your role as an HR professional. But does anybody have any questions? No? All right, guys. Well, I'm going to pass it over to Crystal Mora. And thank you guys for, listening in on this presentation today. I appreciate you guys being here.
Thank you so much, Crystal. Just give me a second so that I can share my screen. Can everyone see it?
Yes.
Perfect. So my name is Crystal Mora, and this is just a little bit about myself. As you can see on the top, it's a couple of organizations that I've worked for over my career. I've been in HR for a little bit over 7 years. I graduated from Motwood High School. So sorry, Crystal, I was joining in the first couple questions, and then I realized these questions are probably not for me. So I'm the one from Motwood. I graduated in 2007, and then I started at the University of Texas at El Paso. About 2 years through my degree, I started out as a biology major. I wanted to be a plastic surgeon, but then very quickly learned that biology wasn't for me. And I wanted a way to pay for school. So with that, I joined the Army Reserves. I went to basic training, completed my AIT, and I was a military police officer. So I've been tased, I've been pepper sprayed, I've been through the gas chamber a couple of times. That wasn't a lot of fun. And then I came back to UTEP and finished my last 2 years where I did the ROTC program. And that is where I decided that I found a passion for HR. And the reason for that is because the first couple of years in the Army Reserves, I felt like I really didn't have somebody to go to or to help guide me through some of the questions that I had on my contract. You know, things like student loan reimbursement and the tuitions assistance program through the Army and through the military. And I couldn't really get a definite answer or somebody to help guide me through all those things. And I said, you know what? I want to be that person for somebody. I want to be the person that they go to when they have questions about pay, when they have questions about benefits, when they have questions about anything that there is to do. I want to be the one that has the answers. And that's where I kind of found my passion for human resources. So when I graduated from UTEP in 2014, I commissioned as an officer in the Army and basically translate to the Adjutant General Corps, which is HR for the Army. So currently I hold 2 titles. I am a commander for an HR company out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I'm also an executive team leader in human resources for Target. I just started with Target about a month and a half ago, so fairly recent. On the civilian side, literally I graduated on a Saturday and I started at Datamark on a Monday. It was insane. So Datamark is a business process outsourcing company. So like Crystal mentioned, you can basically do HR in a multitude of industries. And I think my resume or my experience proves that, because Datamark is a business process outsourcing company, which is very corporate America. And I transitioned it over into retail from Datamark to Lowe's. So with Lowe's, I started off as an HR manager, and then I quickly moved up to an area HR manager where I covered 15 stores from El Paso all the way up to Farmington, New Mexico. Roughly about 2,200 employees during the spring. Closer to 3,000 employees, and I dealt with a multitude of things. You know, like Crystal mentioned, there's hiring, there's firing, there's benefits, there is retention and succession planning and investigations, and there's just a multitude of things that you could do within HR. I did that for about 4 years with Lowe's, and then recently just moved over to Target, and I'm really enjoying it. So that's just a little bit about me. I do have 3 boys at home, and they are my strength, and they are the reason why I do what I do every single day. So with that, I just wanted to give you guys kind of an idea of why I love HR and what it is that keeps me thriving in my profession, so that maybe you guys can pull something out of it and say, hey, I like that too. Maybe HR is going to be something that I want to do as well. So the first thing is variety. You know, there's a lot of different things to do and see when HR is your profession. My career has allowed me to see different parts of the world, meet a ton of new people, and explore different cultures. Along the way, I've been exposed to various areas of HR. You know, when I first started, I did benefits coordination and then moved into HR generalist work, then to HR manager work, and then to a place where I covered a multitude of different areas within HR. So just the variety of being able to do anything and go to any different industry, but still have those HR skill sets that kind of transfer over, it's invaluable. The next one is novelty. So I love the X factor of not knowing exactly what my day will bring. So all of the surprises that come my way can be good and bad, but mostly good. You know, I come in for my day and I don't know exactly who's going to have questions, what research am I going to have to do, what investigations are going to have to take place. So it's always something new, and I really enjoy that about HR. The next one is continuous improvement. The spirit of HR professionals is always about improvement and how to make things better. So whether we're talking about training, recruiting talent, developing benefits plans, looking at new HR tech tools, or making HR processes more efficient, there's always ways to raise the bar. The next one is fluidity. Our profession is not static. We're dealing largely with people or systems, programs that will impact other people. You know, your paycheck impacts you, your benefits impact you, your understanding of your 401k and retirement, it's going to impact you. And those are all answers and keys that HR has to help you along the way, to help you navigate through life and navigate through your career. The next one is my favorite, technology. I absolutely love technology. I'm actually working on my Master's of Science in Business Analytics, and I love diving into the numbers, looking at diversity numbers, looking at what was our turnover? Why was our turnover? What was the reason why people were leaving? What can I do better in the store or in the building or in the company to help people love where they work? You know, Target is the company that I work for right now, and our mission is to bring joy to people in their everyday life. And me, I extend that by bringing joy to the team members that work in my building and making sure that they come to work every single day. And I do that by looking at my absentee percentage. You know, if I have a lot of people calling in, then maybe I'm not doing my job right. Maybe they don't enjoy coming to work, and what can I do to make that different? The next one for me is going to be learning. I know it's cliche, but I truly learn something every single day. You know, I've been in the HR profession for 7 years, so, you know, I have had the opportunity to learn a lot, but there's always something new to learn. There's always changing laws. You know, a couple of you guys mentioned that you were interested in HR laws, and HR laws are constantly changing, especially with COVID. There were so many policies that dropped, and ways that we had to do business, ways that we had to change our interviewing process, change our onboarding process. So there's just something new to learn every single day. Impact. I'm a person who needs to understand how what I'm doing fits into the bigger picture. So how am I making a difference? Why is it that what I do every single day is important? And I find my work rewarding. I may not be making or closing sales calls. There's maybe not a number to put at the end of the day, like, hey, this is how much money I made for the company. But if I make one person in my building happy to work where they work, then I've done my job and I've helped the company reach their objective. The next one's going to be helping others. So it kind of goes without saying, but I love to help others. That's the reason why I got into this profession, because I wanted to be that person that I didn't have coming up through my career. Innovation. Innovation isn't something that many people connect with HR, but I do. Innovation to me is like out of the box thinking, but it's kicked up a little bit. So much of the HR strategy that we put in for people, process, and tools is not only innovative, but also creative. So when we're working on a project or an initiative, or think about all of the requirements, the stakeholders, the budgeting, the time constraints that we have to work with, you consider, have a successful implementation. So I can't speak for you, but in my work requirements, I generally use solutions that are off the shelf. So they're not cookie cutter. You're not going to fix all of your problems the same way. And that's where the innovation comes in. So I love coming up with new solutions to problems and then sharing them along with my peers, so that, you know, the different situations that you deal with on an everyday basis in HR, you kind of create your own little book of ways that you fixed it in the past. So it's really interesting to me, especially, you know, being with 3 different companies. The way that I solved an HR problem when I was with Datamark is very different the way that I would solve it today at Target. And I love that aspect of HR, is that it's always different. You handle every situation differently. And then the last one is connection. So I heard some years ago that HR people like to hang out with HR people, and there's probably some truth to that. I know that some of my friends are also in HR, and aside from the friendships I formed, I find that I'm constantly inspired by other people in the space, whether they're leaders or colleagues. You know, just listening to Crystal, the presenter before us, you know, some of the things resonated with me, and I enjoy having conversations with other HR leaders, because we just deal with a different aspect of the business. You know, like Crystal mentioned, we do everything that the managers don't do. So that's just a little bit about why I love HR. Does anybody resonate with any of these things that I pointed out? Is there anything that you guys enjoy or want to do in the future? Anybody? Oh, go Rams. Nice, April. You're from Montwood too?
I'm a teacher in Montwood.
Oh, nice.
Let's all TV down, guys. It's about the troopers.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. So, I mean, is there anything that you guys feel like you would be interested in doing it for your career, or that you have questions about? We got gift cards for questions.
We do. We have gift cards, guys.
And now's your time to ask, so take advantage of it.
You know, my HR career in the Army took me to a lot of different places. I got to visit Jordan, Iraq, Dubai.
Wow.
The Army is not just guns and stuff. I do paperwork.
I was literally thinking about going into the reserves because they have a bunch of HR positions there. And I was all, I have 1 year, I think. Well, actually, I have a few months, or no, 1 month. But Arturo said, what kind of paperwork?
So a lot of the, on the military side or on the civilian side? On the military side, a lot of the paperwork that I deal with is, you know, pay processing. So when somebody has a pay increase or a promotion, I help them do evaluations, which is similar to the civilian side. You know, when people have their yearly evaluations on the civilian side, we do the same thing in the Army. Every single year, your leader has to evaluate you. And I'm the person that goes through and make sure that they're fair, that it's equal opportunity, that they're not saying anything that they're not supposed to be saying in their evaluations. And I make sure that people are being treated fairly, and it's not a bias of, I just don't like you. It's really, hey, you have a performance issue or you don't have a performance issue. I do a lot of SGLI, which is like the life insurance, unfortunately. So that's the worst paperwork that I do.
How does being part of HR impact your personal life?
I do bring home some stuff in a way. You know, there's some managers that kind of, it's frustrating. You try your best to steer them in the right direction and get them where you want them to be. You try to coach as much as possible, and you do what you can for them, but some of them just don't want the help. And I think that's the most frustrating part about HR, is that they do see us as just the person that's gonna fire you. You know, coming to the HR office doesn't have a positive feeling to it. And I try to change that here. So I have a little candy bowl, and people come, but they have to have a conversation with me in order to take a candy. But yeah, there's often times where I take it home and I'm a little frustrated at the end of the day, because yeah, you're sitting behind a desk, but it's mentally exhausting. But it's also rewarding, very rewarding.
Yes. For me, I guess I'm a very extrovert person. And so for you to be in HR and want to talk to everybody and, you know, come off as being you want to be friends, I've struggled with that, because in my personal life, I can talk to the stranger on the street, and I mean, everybody that's worked with me, April, Cameron, they know that I just like to talk. And so that's been that's been a little bit hard for me, because I do have to put my face on when I come here to work. And that doesn't mean I don't crack a joke from time to time, but that's a big struggle for me.
Yeah, definitely. But yes, but I do want to say it is exhausting, but it's also rewarding. You know, right before I left Lowe's, I had the opportunity to promote all 3 of my department supervisor to salaried manager positions. So that was the most rewarding part, is knowing that the coaching that you're giving them, it means something, because with that promotion came more money for their families, for themselves, for their livelihood. And that is extremely rewarding. April asked, what type of skills do you need to be in HR? So honestly, for me, I think the most important is organization.
Yeah.
And the willingness to read and keep up to date on all of the changing laws.
And yeah, I mean, and be involved. You have to be involved in everything out there that offers, you know, memberships and everything, because those people as well, they help you. You know, I reach out to my executive board, and I'm like, I need this answered, or can you guys guide me with this? And everybody's like, this is what we do here, look at our policy. And so it's also, you know, get that network going. You need network a lot in HR.
Yes, definitely.
So Crystal, I'm getting your number.
Yes, absolutely. Ezekiel asked a question. You want to take that one, Crystal?
What encouraged you to do or to go down that career path? Is there any benefits or just the employment of the job? I love humans, and I love doing what I can for them, especially my employees. Like I said, you're not going to please everybody. But what started was, my mom has a tax business, and she's a small business owner. And I guess working with her as I was going to school, that's kind of like the business side. And I don't like taxes, but that's kind of what inspired me to go to business and kind of see, okay, well, I don't like accounting, I don't like this, I don't like that, okay, I like humans. And so it's just I love people, and I love trying to be fair all across the board, because I've been in jobs where it hasn't been fair, and I see their department and I'm like, wow, you guys are in HR, I can't even believe that. So, you know, following what Crystal said, you just want to be that person that wasn't there for you when you needed that help. And so that's what I really like about my job, and why I chose it. Arturo. Other than having to fire someone, what is the hardest part of working in HR?
So I want to correct you with that one, Arturo. We do not fire people. People fire themselves.
Exactly. I had it in my notes and I didn't say it.
Yeah, so we don't fire people. So I think that is the hardest part, is knowing that somebody has so much potential and could do so good with their career, and they just make a mistake. And when you're in the middle of an investigation, or a manager comes up to you and says, hey, you know, Sonia was $50 short on her cash register today, or so-and-so hid a Starbucks cup in the back. That one I just dealt with. Like, somebody hid a studded Starbucks cup that's, you know, super huge. Like, people go to the Starbucks and they wait in line for them, and you're not allowed to buy anything that a guest doesn't have privilege to. So just knowing, like, I had so much plans for you. Like, I had so much lined up for you to become a team leader and to become an ETL, and then one day run your own Target, and here you are hiding studded cups. Like, that is the hardest part for me, is just being disappointed when you see so much in somebody and they don't see it in themselves. For me, that's the hardest part.
Right. And for me, I want to say it's not, like I said, not everybody's going to be happy. Not everybody's going to like the policies that we put in place or the things that we do, but they don't see us in the back end struggling to try to get it approved by higher management or, you know, leadership. Like, this is what they want, let's try to do it. Okay, well, let's at least come to a middle ground. And to see employees get very like, you know, mad about it, that's what makes me like, that's the hardest part for me to accept. I'm like, they don't see the stuff that we're doing on the back end for them. They just see what we push out, and they think, well, this is what they want, and that's why they're doing it. No, it's not like that. We can't please everybody. There's always going to be that one person that's not going to be happy, and that's the hardest part also. And you just have to come to terms with it, and you just have to, hey, you guys may not like it, but this is what we're doing, and you have to be transparent with all your employees, so that they know what you're trying to do is for the best interest of them, not me, not the CEO, not management. So that's the hardest part for me. Those are good questions, guys. Like, I really like your questions.
HR is a really, really stable career field. I will say that, you know, like I mentioned several times, like, you could literally work in any industry. Somebody is going to have HR.
Mm-hmm. And right now that it's the hottest job right now. So if you're not trying to up your credentials or your skills, then you're going to just be put on the bottom of the pile when you're interviewing for a higher position in HR. So, yeah, it's a very competitive job right now. That's why they call it a hot job.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all the questions.
Good job, guys.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much. I think that was really great to have that interaction, especially at the end, and just to hear about what both of you do. I learned a lot. So thank you guys. And I do want to speak too from somebody who's not in HR, just about the benefits that they do provide. I know Crystal and her department, they always provide us with really clear communication on different issues and events that are going on. And even I remember when I was going through the hiring process for this job, you know, I would look forward to hearing from Crystal to schedule the interview or to go forward with the hiring process. Those are exciting things that HR gets to do for their employees. And so I do think it's a really cool opportunity that hopefully you'll consider. So thank you again to both of you. I do want to mention, in case you missed it at the beginning, that now for the last 10, 15 minutes of our time together, you are able to go back into Premier Virtual where you entered through, and there will be different booths that you can click on virtually to interact with both Crystals, to interact with myself from Grind Talk, and also with our youth program. And the youth program is actually where they can help connect you with employment opportunities and work experience. And so if you have any additional questions, you want to connect further, those are going to be great opportunities for you. All right, so thank you guys again. If you do have any remaining questions or comments, please feel free to hang around and you can send them in the chat. But thank you, and I hope you all have a great night.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, April.
Thank you so much, Crystal. It was nice seeing you.
You too.
Thank
Have a
you.
good
Go
rest of
Rams.
the weekend. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Go Rams.
Thanks for coming, April.
Sorry. Thanks, Cameron. I was able to make, I'm still here like at school, but
I know, I can
glad
tell.
that I was
The
yeah,
library.
we're still doing, we're doing the income tax stuff for,
Okay.
yeah, but today's the last day, so.
Good. Awesome. Well, thank
Yeah,
you.
so hopefully some of my students, I told them to come, so hopefully some of them did, but
Yeah.
some of them did last time.
Okay, I know. I saw a couple of them. So, or
Yeah.
I from Montwood. So,
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you. Awesome. Okay, Cameron, we'll talk later.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting.